The last homology series we are going to look at will be esters. Now, esters are very well known for the pleasant smells that they can give in, for example, perfumes, as well as in the food flavoring industry and the perfume industry as well. They are giving the specific flavor to the various produced foods. All right, now an ester ends with anoate. All right, the functional group that we are looking at will look like this. Okay, so it has a carbonyl group, then a single bond O attached to the same carbon, and then another carbon. Okay, so it's very specific. This whole group is what is needed to be in an ester. C double bond O, single bond O, C. Let's look at an example. Okay, so we have, for example, C, C, O, C double bond O. Okay, what is happening here? The first part connected to the single bond O is formed coming from an alkyl group that combines with a carboxylic acid. Alright, so when an alcohol and a carboxylic acid combines, it forms an ester. So if we look at the specific ester, the part that is connected to the single bond O, which is this part in this case, is the part that is mentioned first in the ester's name. And that part comes from the alcohol. So this alcohol that made this ester was an ethanol because it has two carbons attached to the single bond O. So for the ester, we will start off with ethyl and then the next word. Because the next part only has a single carbon, in other words, one carbon, it will be meth. Methanoate. I'm going to do another one just to explain again. Let's say we have something like this. There you go. Please remember this whole part is needed for an ester to form. Now the part which is attached to the single bond O is the part that comes from the alkyl group, and that's the part that you mentioned first in the ester's name. So in this case it will be propyl. Always first has an alkyl group, a propyl, because it has 3 carbons. The second part of the name comes from the carboxylic acid. In this case, the carboxylic acid had 2 C's attached to it, so it is an eth. Therefore, it is propyl ethanoate. Another one. Right, so the part that is connected to the single bond O is the part that we write down first in the ester's name, and that you write down as an alkyl group, and it comes from the alcohol. So it's butyl, and this is connected, the double bond O is connected to a chain of 3 carbons. Butyl propanoate. Butyl, and the next word, propanoate. I'm going to look at one last one. Okay, this one is connected to a single carbon, which is methyl, and another single carbon, methanoate. Okay, so with the ester, we always have an "-ile" and then an anoate. That's it for this lesson. See you in the next.